Welcome to the official Budhole podcast, bringing you movies, video games, and randomness in between. Now bringing your hosts, Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamar.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the official Budhole podcast, episode number 171, I think.
170-something.
Something like that.
172.
Have you guys seen the commercial for the Google thing that you can hum and it knows what song you're humming?
I haven't seen that, but it's like Shazam, right?
It's like Shazam, but you can hum into it. It's that Lil Nas X was in it, humming the Old Town Road, and it said 65% match and brought it up. Yeah,
that's
I wonder if you guys humming that jam on the inside, if it would know. Yeah,
Budhole
how good your hums
opener.
are.
Oh, that's the official Budhole podcast. 69% match.
Like What's 69. It called? Google Hum?
I'm not sure what it's called. I just saw it on a commercial.
It's the Google Everything button on some tablet or
Google Hummer.
It might be
Microsoft
like Google's
Surface
thing for Google.
Yeah, Google Hummer. See what you get.
I'm gonna Google Hummer quick.
No, the Google Everything button.
Oh, listen.
Hummer.
I know about a secret button. Works real well.
Did you guys see that Pornhub is now? They basically wiped everything off Pornhub that's not verified. So
how would you see that?
I read
saw
this
it on
too.
Twitter today.
Okay.
It definitely wasn't because I searched for something that was unverified.
Or
on
he
Pornhub.
receives favorited emails.
So the amount of hours that Gage has queued up dropped by 69%.
This Sasquatch porn cannot be verified, Scott. You
Hopefully
cannot
for
watch.
Star, the Scooby-Doo porn was
Yeah,
verified.
the Scooby-Doo porn might be
Immediately
gone.
when you said it, I went, ruh-roh.
I can't look at Scooby-Doo the same way anymore.
And that's the worst part because it's your daughter's favorite cartoon, isn't it?
Not anymore. I was picking up toys for Tots for work, and I came across Scooby-Doo, and I'm like, I can't give that to the kids. Not after the podcast.
Scooby-Doo's not for the kids.
We should develop some Scooby-Doo merchandise. Just have Butthole Nation rolling around in Scooby-Doo shit. I mean, we'd probably get trademark issues, but...
Gage noticed, but did you two notice the name of the Cardinals coach on our Budhole franchise?
Scoobs. Scoobs.
Big Scoobs.
I didn't put it together. I noticed the name.
Yeah, I did too.
Fucking Big Scoobs.
Big Scoobs is going to win Coach of the Year.
It's possible.
He is going to win Coach of the Year. How many losses does the Star have in the Madden franchise?
I think two.
Oh, you only got two? Okay.
Yeah.
2 users.
So, yeah, you got a shot at it.
There's a chance. I still play Scott twice.
Scott's got to take one of those.
I play Star one more time. I think I play Gage again. Well, you didn't show up for the last game.
So you got 2 bye weeks. So you got
it's so funny.
an extra bye week left.
It was a rough game. I'll take that, but
that's one way to put it. We'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah. So what everybody's here for.
Or the previous one.
Yeah.
Some episode
We'll
this
talk
week.
about it later.
Earlier but later because we're recording this first and it's going to air last. The movie that everybody's here for this week is The Irishman, the movie that I picked on Netflix before I knew it was 3.5 hours long. That's not true. I knew, but I wanted to watch it anyways. And I'm going to start by saying, going from the movie that he picked to this one, I don't think we've had a bigger difference in movies in the 2 weeks span. Just in the... Brandon's was fun, happy-go-lucky, plot holes galore, right? Like, the story and everything was
no
not...
plot holes.
It almost felt like it was 3.5 hours long.
The turkey bowl, right? That's what it was. And then you go to this movie, which is 3.5 hours long, and like we were saying before we cracked the mics here, it literally felt like it could have been longer.
wasn't long enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
But before we get into it, how many parts did you guys watch it in with it being a 3.5 hour long movie? Did you guys, any of you guys sit down and watch the entire thing from start to finish?
Right here.
Gage
Finished
did?
the whole thing one shot.
Did
It was
you?
pretty, I don't know, for a mob movie, it got me hooked early. And it was like, me and Star said, it was like a quick, slow movie, like a fast, slow movie. Quick burn. It was...
It moved from storyline to storyline to storyline really quickly.
Yeah. I like
you had
how,
to pay close attention.
Yep. I like how at the beginning of the movie it was him talking and kind of jumping into all the different jobs that he did, right? So it was like him talking about over here and over there, and the next thing you know, it's like little 2-3 minute clips of multiple different jobs, throwing all the guns in the same spot.
Yep. explaining some part in that story they just came across. This how he knows this character, and
that was probably for almost the first hour of the movie.
Yeah, hour and a half. It was a lot.
First 3 hours, I'd say.
Where they pretty much set the scene. How many parts did Brandon watch it in?
Still watching it.
Still watching it?
Yeah, I'm about 72 hours in. I have a little bit of time left.
7 pairs of soiled underwear.
I think I was 4.
4 parts?
I think I did about 50 minutes a time.
Okay.
I've kind of found a new love. I should say not even a new. It's a love for watching movies in parts. I had never before in my entire life been a part watcher of movies. I always was like, if I'm not going to sit down and watch the entire thing, I don't want to watch it. But you can do it. It's okay.
You shouldn't, though.
The one thing
you really shouldn't.
I don't do is I can't do multiple movies where I'll be in the middle of one and start another one.
Oh, yeah.
I have to finish that one I was watching.
Brandon just had his mic muted the entire time?
No, I didn't. What I've noticed is sometimes my mic is really fuzzy and muffled, and then when I talk in different areas, it gets a little bit clear and loud. You notice that, guys, or is it the same?
I don't know.
It sounds good right now.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
I don't think it sounds like that on the podcast either. I mean, Star's motto is don't get high on your own supply, so I don't listen, but...
True that.
No wonder our listens went down. We're down to 2.
Yeah.
I think...
And I played mine by accident.
With this movie in particular, that it could have been a miniseries.
Yeah.
They could have split it and not put it as one movie and had it in episodes. Kind of like was The Hateful Eight.
Yes.
They did the director's cut of that in 4 episodes rather than a 1 4-hour movie.
I think that would have been better. Would have been easier to watch. Then you're going hour at a time instead of trying to do 3.5 hours. And if you watch it in parts, you kind of forget a little bit of what happened.
Yeah.
They can give you the recap before it.
Exactly.
Previously on The
Shameless.
Irishman.
But, like, if you think about, what is it, Goodfellas? Or The Godfather?
Never seen it.
3-part. I've never seen it either. Actually, fuck, we should see that.
I know what Gage is picking.
That back-to-back with The Irishman?
Yeah, that'd be pretty brutal. We gotta separate those.
We'd have to be careful.
And I've always heard that part 2 is better than part 1 anyways.
Yeah, so that's a long movie that's broken up still into parts, and I think maybe this is an ode to, like, the gangster vibe and, like, long movies like that, you know? I thought it was a pretty good movie, but it kind of lost me with the ending.
The last, like, after the big thing that happened, the last, like, 40 minutes seems unnecessary.
Kind of. It basically, the last 40 minutes is kind of just showing how it's kind of shaped his life and how much of a mess his life is because of what he dedicated it to.
Yep.
Working for the mob as well as working for the big time union brokers, the Teamsters. So, and how much, like, he didn't give a damn about his family at all. His home life was non-existent. Didn't care about it.
Working for a union, Gage, did you know that your union leaders are all mobsters?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that's why unions started?
No, yeah, I did not know that.
I wonder if it's still like that. That gives them a lot of money.
I have no idea.
A lot of play with.
Gage would tell you, but then he'd have to kill you.
I'm just kidding, Gage.
You either got to be in the club or you're out.
Wink twice.
So it's a story about a guy from Philly, who is a meat delivery driver.
I think he was West Philadelphia, right?
Frank Sheeran.
Born and raised.
Ed
on the
Sheeran's
playground,
dad,
I think, is
Frank
where he
Sheeran.
spent most of his days.
No, they didn't have playgrounds back then. Way too early.
They had playgrounds back then.
I know, I'm joking.
His car
Call
breaks
it
down.
cars.
He has a chance meeting with Joe Pesci, and that kind of leads to him being introduced to another low-end mobster who wants to buy cows from him on the low.
Yep.
And he starts stealing cows to sell to him. That gets his foot in the door before he starts painting houses.
And when you say paint houses, what do you mean by that?
Like what Joe does. That's how I understood it.
EOs, you mean.
Yeah, discretion is important on the podcast.
I didn't say a last name. There's probably a lot of Joes who paint houses.
Sure.
Pretty sure there was 7 Joes in this movie.
There was probably.
There's all Joes, Frankies, Stevies, and Tonys.
And Jimmy's. Jerome's.
There's a lot of same names, but it was a true story, so you can't really be that mad at it.
And the way he painted houses, man, woof. You could tell it was just a different time.
Totally different time.
There was no cameras or anything to get you.
Nope.
You just walk into a diner, look him in the eyes, pop him in front of everybody, and then walk away.
And then roll.
And
Get
the mob
Throw
had
the
so
gun
much-
in the river.
Were people that afraid of the mob, too, that they weren't going to turn anybody
I'm
in?
sure.
Especially those areas.
Yeah, that East Coast whole area.
There was no reason to what are you going to do? Go tell the cops and then possibly get ratted as a snitch and your life's over? What was the movies? Did you see the one with Whitey Bulger? Right? Was that the one?
The Whitey Bulger was
that Johnny Depp who played him?
Yeah. Some crimes.
That's not what Gage calls his crank, right?
Oh yeah, that was
It is now.
That was Gage. Was that verified or unverified on Pornhub? The Whitey Bulger video you put up.
That's not a question for Gage. I think that's a question for a different guy.
Oh, the wrong Gage?
Gage's
Black Mass.
Gage's Rage. No.
No, not
That's
Black
not it.
Mask.
Mass.
It might have been
I'm
Black
also-
Mass, actually.
I'm
I think
also
you're
just
right.
spitballing. I'm looking it up here.
I think Black Mass might actually sound right.
I know I was not a biggest fan of that movie.
I didn't love it either, but nonetheless, that's kind of it paints the same picture and it's kind of in the same time period.
And you know how he got in with these people? By not being a fucking rat.
Yeah.
The lawyer said, you can flip on people. Probably get out of this, no questions asked. You got anyone to flip on? Nope. All right, I'll introduce you to some people. And he was that way till his dying day.
And he was what's the guy's name? Ray Romano from Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is in the movie, he's the cousin to the
Joe Pesci's brother, I think. Or was it cousin?
I think it's his cousin. I'm
Cousin?
pretty sure it's his cousin. Yep. So the
lawyer.
he's related to the mobsters, but he's a big time lawyer, and he actually, I think I read online after the movie, he won 5 out of 7 cases for the Bufalino family.
Damn.
So he was like their go-to guy for that 10-year period, and then nonetheless, Jimmy Hoffa ends up getting.
Yeah, he moved his way all the way up the ranks.
Yep.
To kind of be the right-hand man to Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, Hoffa.
Like family
Not Hofstra.
friends. That, he divorced his wife, got a new young thing, and they all hung out together. Jimmy Hoffa got along with his youngest daughter, Peggy, really well.
Yep. And it was a different connection that he had had, or she had had with Joe Pesci's character.
Correct.
And him,
Yep.
for that matter.
Because they were
They
seen
were
as,
afraid of them.
Yep. Threats, and Uncle Jimmy was always a nice guy, and
It was
didn't
Al
have to fake
Pacino
it.
played Uncle Jimmy.
he just was.
Knocked it out of the park too. Al Pacino's a stud. The cast was A+.
Rock stars.
Mobster verified.
So Jimmy ends up going to jail. He gets, I'm trying to remember, it was 13 years for what?
Fraud.
Fraud? Okay.
Or they were...
Embezzlement?
No, it was...
The other guy got embezzlement.
Yeah, it was like jury tampering.
Some stupid
Because
shit.
remember that the Fat Tony
Yep.
had the wire on when they were talking about which jury people they could
Persuade.
Yes, that's what it was. For
Isn't
jury
that
tampering.
how, like, all the big mobsters get caught, though? All the big bad guys, they get tax evasion, they get wiretapping, they get something minor. They don't get the murders or...
Yeah, and their
all
name's
the-
not
there's
attached
so many-
to that stuff.
Yeah, there's so many levels between the boss and
Yeah, they get caught for some petty bullshit, but they get put away forever.
Yeah. The thing is,
not
though,
the same way. I don't think either.
like most of the big time mobsters, especially back then, they were doing so much shady shit that you were gonna get them for something. It was just a question of what. And like everybody knew that Jimmy Hoffa was sketchy as hell, even if he was the head of the union,
President of union.
Yeah. So he goes to jail. Nixon goes in as president, ends up giving him a presidential pardon. So of his 13-year sentence, I think he served like 8 of it or something. They said, if even 8. It wasn't a full term.
5.
Good behavior.
He gets out. He starts basically the Teamsters union knows that like he can't be the head of it again, but he starts bargaining for power again. Frankie works right on his side the whole way up. He
But
doesn't end up
there's the
becoming
other
to
Frankie,
top.
who is the president,
Yep.
that he's just fucking shit up.
Yep.
He's giving out too much money. He's giving bad loans.
He's a bad leader of it.
Yeah, so he says, I want my job back. I'm going to go take this. The rest of the mob is saying, probably shouldn't.
It's kind of a bad look.
Yeah. Your time's over.
Yeah.
And they like Fat Frankie because he accepts every deal. He doesn't turn anything down.
Yeah, he
whereas
does, too.
Jimmy runs a tighter ship.
Yep.
And they sent a message that they wanted Fat Jimmy and not the guy that the other guy was pushing for, right? They shot up that car.
Yep.
So then didn't they counter-respond with a little threat of their own?
They blew up a boat.
Yeah, they blew up the boat.
It wasn't the boat. It was the taxis, right?
Pushing the taxis in the river.
Yeah, they pushed the taxis in the river.
I thought that was
wasn't their
earlier in the
response to
movie.
it. Yeah, that was earlier.
Okay.
That was like one of the first things
That was
they
how
did.
Jimmy and our guy got tight, basically.
Yeah.
Because he did all that stuff.
Yep.
Blew up all
And
those
and Jimmy
taxis.
came to realize that De Niro, Frank, he was a doer, total doer.
Yeah.
And he
was
wasn't
all
going to
done.
rat ever. Like, he was loyal to an absolute fault. Nonetheless, the give and take goes back and forth. Frank ends up getting an award. What's the award that he ends up getting nominated for? He asked Jimmy to be there to give him the speech,
Isn't
the
it just
acceptance
like
speech.
pitting for like 40 years of service or something like that?
Or like a
I'm not
Teamsters.
sure what it was.
I don't even remember what it was.
I think
quite
it was
frankly.
his 40th year.
So it was a
of the
big
union.
time union award.
Pin, yep.
Okay. He asks Jimmy to be the one that gives the speech for him, introduces him, whatever. Jimmy's like, it's an absolute honor. All the mobsters and Teamsters are at this big get-together. Everybody's there. Everybody's happy for him, whatever. Accepts the award. Conversations start happening. They come to find out that Jimmy's going to have to be offed, right? The mobsters are like, Jimmy needs to be dealt with, needs to be done. Frank's like trying to figure out a way to get around it, talks to Jimmy about it. Jimmy's like, Basically, Jimmy started off by saying, I'm not going to meet with them. Like, I don't really care what they think.
He was telling him at that point, you need to be done.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to off him then. They just
were
wanted
giving
him
him
out
an
of the
out.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Just
They
leave
said,
it alone,
tell him-
retire.
Tell him to move on.
yeah,
Joe Pesci said he trusts you. He needs to hear this from you.
Yep.
God,
Tell him he's done.
I'm trying to remember the exact term. Basically, just like that's it, or it's done. Something
Yeah.
super like pointed.
It was the way they said it, too. That,
Yeah.
That wording, it was like, wait, like that, though?
And so Frank's like, oh, shit.
They don't mean
like,
it.
Yeah.
Jimmy was trying to call it, and he's like, no, they mean it.
Jimmy doesn't care. He keeps pushing forward.
He goes away and kind of retires at a lake house. A little
Yeah.
bit. And like the main...
Yeah.
So there's like a couple main stories in it. He's telling the story as an old man in an old folks' home.
Yep.
And then there's the story from the beginning on, and then there's him going to a wedding in Detroit, road tripping with Joe Pesci. So it kind of flips between three different settings. And then that kind of brought us up to when they just kind of stayed at the road trip. And they were making all these stops, and Joe Pesci's like, we got one more stop to make. There's a meeting. And everyone's meeting with Jimmy.
We're going to make our way up there. We'll take as many cigarette breaks as we need because Joe Pesci won't let anyone smoke in his car. So he's like, we can have all the cigarette stops we need, but like, we're going there. Frank's like, well, I told Jimmy I'd be there by 2. He's like, they're like, you're not going to be there by 2. You're going to do this. They end up coming up with the plan that Pesci's going to drive Frank to a plane. Frank's going to hop on the plane, fly to Detroit, deal with Jimmy, and then fly back. That's basically the deal. And Frank had it was a done deal. There was no wiggle room for Frank at all. So Frank flies up to Detroit, goes and gets with Jimmy's son actually, and I don't remember the other
Chucky's the son.
It was Socks, the guy that strangled someone and
Yeah, the guy
just
with
another
glasses.
gangster basically.
I think
mobster.
he was like the new house painter is what it seemed like to me.
That's kind of what it seemed like to me too.
He's the young...
he had some
Hitman.
nickname. Yeah.
The cleaner, the
Yeah, he's setting up,
Getting
some
ready
nice
for
linoleum floors.
yeah, because
At
they
this
know
house.
what's about to go down.
The carpenter.
Yep.
Frank goes to get in the car to go pick up Jimmy. They realize that the fucking car smells like fish. The back seat's all wet. They're like, "What are you hauling fish around for?" And Chucky's like, "I don't know. Somebody just told me to pick it up. Like, don't ask questions that you don't want answers to. Whatever." They go pick up Jimmy. Jimmy gets in the car. Jimmy knows something's not right. Frank knows something's not right. Frank's being super weird. Jimmy's like, "You got your your piece with you? Because, like, things make it weird. Frank's like, yeah. They go to this house. Frank and Jimmy get out of the car. The other two drive away. They walk into the house. Jimmy leads Frank. Jimmy steps in. Frank follows him, shuts the door. Jimmy's, like, looking around. I don't remember exactly what he says. And basically, Frank shoots him in the back.
He's like, we got to get out of here. And he starts running to the door. Bang, bang.
Frank shoots him in the back, I think, 3 times, and then in the chest twice.
He never left it up to chance.
No, it was
That's
over.
not Frank's style.
It was done deal.
Yep.
John Wick
Taken
and Fools.
care of.
Basically, from that point forward, every single mobster, teamster gets indicted. They get talked to. They all plead the fifth. Nobody says shit. Frank knows what happens. Frank ends up getting back home after being interviewed, I believe, in court, and has to call Jimmy's daughter. Or is it his wife?
His wife.
Jimmy's wife.
Joe.
Basically, Joe's like, he's not dead. Like, he's got to be somewhere, right? And Frank's like, yeah, like, I would, like, plan as though he's still alive. We just don't know where he is, kind of thing. But Frank's, like, super, super cold about it.
And stuttering.
Like, struggling hard. Drinking a lot.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's probably fine. You don't have to worry about it.
Probably the most cracked you've ever seen him. Is right
for
there.
a very stoic character, the whole movie, that was definitely the most distraught he was.
And he was on, like, drink 4 by then already.
Jimmy was his idol.
Jimmy was the reason he was who he was.
Exactly.
One of his best friends.
Having to do that can't be easy.
And it was at the moment before he made the phone call that his daughter Peggy kind of put 2 and 2 together.
And they're like,
she
you
was
haven't
like,
called Joe yet?
Yeah,
They
you
started
haven't even
freaking
talked
out.
to his wife yet. And they said that was the last time she ever talked to him. They never had a conversation
Peggy
after that.
So he loses his wife. He loses his daughter there. Doesn't talk to her again until the very end of the movie when it's fast forwarded, 20 years later, and he's in.
But that wasn't Peggy, was it? I thought that was the older daughter.
Yeah, no, that was the older daughter. You're right. It wasn't Peggy. It was a different daughter. God, parts of it still don't make exact sense to me. Even it's just so much.
Jumps.
You're taking
Yeah.
so much in. So basically, then after that, nobody gets charged with murder.
He's missing.
They never find his body. Frank has this over his soul for the rest of his life. They all end up going to jail. The mobsters and Frank go to jail for... what do they go to jail for? They go to jail together. They end up in jail for... I don't even remember
It was
what.
like an old man's club.
Basically.
Actually looked kind of fun.
And then it shows them all playing bocce ball together, and Frank's basically just narrating it, talking about how they all basically just became cripples in prison. Frank's like, I needed a cane, which they won't give you in prison because you use it as a weapon. Whatever. And then it fast forwards to Frank older, and he tries to make amends with his oldest daughter, talks to her, tells her how awful he was as a father, but he had to do certain things. And she said, Dad, we couldn't even talk to you because of the things you would have done to the people that we were having issues with. And he basically just says, I never wanted you to have problems. I just wanted to protect you, whatever. And then it fast forwards after. It's basically a failed attempt to make amends with his daughter. His daughter's not really having it. It fast forwards to present day, where he's talking to, basically he tries to find the Lord, make some sort of amends for his situation. I think it's a couple FBI agents or 2 people come talk to him and try and get a confession out of him because they're pretty sure that he did it or knows who did it.
Yeah, and they say it. Everyone's dead. They go through the list. And one of the cool things during the movies, you'd get introduced to a character, and it would just pop up how they died. 2 bullets to the head in the car. And did you notice it was almost all between 79 and 80?
Yeah.
There was a year frame where all of these people got murdered. So that had to do something with all of this. There's their little thing if you were involved in this, you got murdered at one point in time.
You would die.
Yeah, everyone but Frank.
Yeah, it's just a different time. It was a very interesting movie.
But the thing with Frank is at the very end of the movie, he picks out his own casket because he's
going to die alone.
Pretty much. And he knows it. So he picks out his own casket, haggles with the guy to get the price lowered on it. It's a nice emerald green casket. Meets with the priest to try to cleanse his soul before he knows he wants to get everything off his chest, but he does not tell the priest that he killed Jimmy Hoffa. Never tells anybody. Doesn't tell the 2 guys that come to talk to him. Never tells anybody. But the priest knows at the very end of the movie, before the movie ends, that Jimmy's still got something on his soul that he won't let out. So they sit and pray together a couple times. Jimmy still doesn't let it go. The priest says, all right, I'm going to come back after Christmas. Christmas is coming up in a couple days. Jimmy's actually surprised that Christmas is coming up, asks the priest to leave the door open. Priest walks out of the room, leaves the door cracked. Movie ends. Basically, I think the what he's trying to illustrate with that is just how tough of a cookie Frank really was. And that he would...
To his own fault, almost.
To a fault.
Yep.
Like, it's like they tell him, like, at this point, dude, you could say, like, tell your story, because you're not going to go... What are they going to do? Put you in jail? Like...
You're old as
you think
dirt.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that I thought was interesting is they try and poke him with the idea of, like... The priest actually does. He's like, you don't feel bad for the things you've done? And he's like, I didn't really know any of these people. Like, I was doing a job. And they're like, you didn't know the family of any of them? And he's like, well, one of them. Like, he knows Jimmy's wife, right? Like, he's super close with the family. But he still doesn't... It doesn't really crack him. He's just a cold-blooded son of a gun.
World War II vet.
Just a hardened soul.
It was a different time.
The coffin he picked, too, with that just emerald green being the Irishman, like, that was badass.
It was
badass.
I love that he haggled.
Haggled the price. Gets
What-
it from
what can you
7 to
do?
6. He's like, is that the best you can
It
do?
was from 10 to 7, I thought.
No, it was... No.
I thought he went down a lot, and I thought he was a bad negotiator. It's like, how'd you go down $3,000 just
Right
from
away.
him asking for it?
It might have been 10 to 7, actually. You're right.
No, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, so
Um,
for Budhole review scores, it's a little different movie than what we've really not watched a movie like it, like a true story like this.
This way, no.
But yeah, we'll let Star.
I wanted to throw out just something that I haven't mentioned yet. Joe Pesci. There's a song that's currently on the radio right now, Chance the Rapper and Justin Bieber, where there's a line that says, "Life is short with a temper like Joe Pesci." That man was so calm during this entire movie. That was not a Joe Pesci character. I think he had one of the best performances in the movie.
Joe Pesci was a very good character.
How often do you see a Joe Pesci movie where he's not yelling and freaking out and doing his Joe Pesci stuff?
Yep, exactly.
He didn't do it once this entire movie. Even when he was telling him he had to kill people, he's like, just do it. Take care of it.
Yeah.
Basically, like, you know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And that's how that character was. That character was just like the man, you know? He didn't
Yeah. He's just
question
moved
anything.
in his mob movies from the hothead assistant to
Chilled
the
boss.
Godfather,
Yeah.
basically.
We did do a little bit of a disservice to the movie to not do this review in Irish accents or Italian accents.
No,
I couldn't do it, but I'm just saying.
I
there's
went
no way
for
I could.
like an
There's
hour
no disrespect.
Saturday night talking in one.
I actually watched the entire movie in closed captioning.
Really?
Yeah.
Closed caption is the way to go.
I'm
I'm telling you.
I'm a fan of it. So, Star, you actually texted us when you're like, you could.
I said if I don't make it on Monday night, it's because my parents killed me. Because I've been talking in this accent for like an hour. And it's hard. I pick up accents. I went to Mexico for spring break, started talking like a Canadian immediately.
How?
Everyone who was at the resort was Canadian.
It's just what you do. You got to fit in.
I was from Saskatchewan. Go Rough Riders, bleed green.
Oh, just a big fan.
So it was hard to, after watching it for like 2 hours, you just start to talk like them. You know, I can't do it right now because I haven't been watching it, but play it for a half hour. I'll talk the rest of the night with one.
It just goes to show how much information you really truly absorb, all the way down to the accents.
I liked it a lot. I don't think I'd put it on the level of Scorsese's other ones with Goodfellas, which I think is in a tier of its own, and Casino, and even his movies like Gangs of New York, I'd put over it. He does have a lot of long-ass movies. But I liked it. I'm going to give it a 7.7.
All right, I'm going to disappoint. For me, it was like cruising at like a 7.3, 7.4, and then that ending came out of nowhere and just grinded my gears like no other. I was not a fan.
You were sitting there, good gravy.
Yeah, good gravy was said a few times. I'm going to give it a 6.6.
I think for me, I'm kind of on Star's level, although I think I'd maybe go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 7.95. It's not quite an 8, but it's a very good movie. And I actually, like, the time kind of flew by for me.
Same.
I kind of got sucked into it, and then the next thing, I think what Gage is alluding to is the next thing I knew it was over. And I was like, fuck, it's over? Like, that's the end? So that part of it I didn't love, but the ending in a movie like that, I kind of didn't expect a great ending. I just expected the ending to be the ending. So I was okay with it. I'm not going to dock it for that. But you don't watch the movie for the ending. You watch it for the story of this guy's life.
It wasn't a typical movie where it builds to a climax.
Right.
Type of thing. It was as a biography pick.
This is what happened with my life.
This was
told
his
by
life.
him.
Yeah.
I'm going more along Gage's lines here. Like Scott said, the ending is the ending, and you can't depict how his life ended. Like, they got to end it somehow. And to show him as that tough bastard is kind of the way they have to do it.
Yeah.
But earlier, like Star mentioned, I think a series would have been better for something like this. Really hard to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch a movie. So I'm going with the 6.5.
To me, this movie is the exact type of movie that I want to watch when I go to a movie theater with a bunch of popcorn and pop.
I'm opposite.
Are you?
I will not see a 3.5 hour movie
In
the
a
movie
theater?
I smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I love being able to pause it and take a 5-minute break here and there.
That's
even
fair.
on a 2.5 hour movie, 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
It's tough in the theaters because if you have to take a piss, you're missing part of the movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lord knows I'm finishing that pop before the fucking credits roll.
Oh, for sure. And then my problem is if it's a movie I really want to see, I won't go get a refill. But if it's a movie that I'm kind of like, meh, whatever, I'll go get a refill on that pop. But
Isn't there an app
stuck there with Cottonmouth, huh?
I think there's an app that your phone notifies you when it's a slow part of a movie, and it gives you a 5-minute breakdown of what happens when you're gone.
Dude.
Yeah, so it'll like buzz.
Stop.
It'll say, go take a bathroom break, and then while you're sitting on the toilet, you read about what's happening in the movie, and then you go back to the movie. You didn't miss anything.
That is fucking genius. I did not know that.
Is that legit, or are you making
I don't
that
know.
up?
Look it up. If it's not, let's do it.
How would you do that? Get the copyrights from
You don't
like,
have to.
movies in theaters.
It could be like a Spark Notes type situation where
You wouldn't even need. You just have to have someone see it.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I'd go piss when they were talking in the hall for
And
5
then-
minutes.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, at this dude. So you just start the app when
I
the
think
movie
it might have
starts?
been like Carson Palmer and Jordan Palmer talking about it on the Hard Knocks.
You have to. What you would need to do is combine it with an app like Fandango. So it's like as soon as you bought the ticket, bang, this thing would send you a notification saying, "Hey, here's this movie. Set a reminder at this time to go take a." You know.
Yeah, because you'd have to say start when you start a movie so it knows how far into it you are.
It's possible. It's called Run Pee. Alerts you to a lull in the movie when it's a good time to take a bathroom break. The Run Pee app tells moviegoers when it's safe to go to the bathroom.
Well, Run P, the Budhole approves of your.
We need to reach out to Run P about a little bit
Your
of
mission is
sponsorship for this exact episode, the movie
Now,
reviews.
how
So this is
great-
the Run P moment of the movie.
How great are they really doing if nobody's heard of it? You heard about it on Hard Knocks.
And it might not have even been that specific one.
Yeah.
Those
Can you
guys
see
might
how
have
many
created that
downloads they have?
off of what they were talking about.
Yeah, you look
Because
it up.
I'm pretty sure it was just an idea on Hard Knocks. The
Is it
Palmer
available
brothers.
Anywhere.
So Butthole approved Run P. This is a shameless plug because we're getting no money for this plug. Run P has 705 reviews and it has a 3.5 average. So if you're going based on what Run P says, you're definitely risking it a little bit.
And is that you don't have to use it just for theaters. Obviously, theaters aren't even a thing right now.
Right.
Even if you're just watching a movie at home and
In general.
you want to know when there's a good spot. If you're watching with other people and you don't want to say pause it, I go to the bathroom, you'll know when to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
so-
pauser. I pause it all the time.
You need a library that's
So
pretty fucking
it's
large.
pretty much exactly what you're saying as far as it tells you P times for new movies added every week. To pee or not to pee, that's no longer a problem. It gives you the P points in the movie. The movie's over, or is it? So if you leave early, it'll tell you like what you might have missed if there's something at the end of the movie, or it'll tell you to stay for the movie. And then get a little buzz before each P time. So it'll give you a buzz at minute marker 32 minutes in the movie, and it'll tell you got 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go do your thing. Useful information everyone needs. It tells you if you do run and pee, it's going to give you exactly what you missed in the movie while you peed. So this one says, P time length 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Detailed synopsis. Cut to Gabby and Forky. Gabby sees a real little girl named Harmony. Harmony's playing T. Gabby
What movie
imitates
is
her
this?
and tells Forky, when my
Annabelle.
voice box is fixed,
Forky.
I'll finally get my chance.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. Cut to Buzz strapped to the wall of the arcade. He's trying to get loose so he can get to Woody, 2 plushy dolls. A bird and a rabbit are hanging from the ceiling above.
get
I
it.
think we
We
get
get
to
it.
see it.
So it literally just tells you what's happening in those 3 minutes and 50 seconds. You don't miss shit.
We were just
No.
going to read for 3 minutes and 50
We can
seconds.
email them right away.
We need to get a
Potential-
sponsorship with the Run P.
Maybe we start our own. We call it Bud Go.
When
Bud
the
go.
buds tell you should go.
Yeah.
So in this movie, Brandon and Gage would say you could pee at any point, especially the end.
No, I wouldn't say any
You never
point.
want to miss the ending of a movie.
Yeah.
What did we average out to?
6-6.
719.
719? In the
Which is
sevens.
Budhole
What's
scale
IMDb?
is.
Right in the
So-
middle.
That's a pretty
Watch
good movie
it.
for us.
It's a watch. It's a
So we see what that ranks up to as far as compared to IMDb.
7-9.
Yeah.
Yep, 7.9 on IMDb.
Did you get a chance to watch Mulan yet, Gage?
Yes, I did watch Mulan.
Where's that rank now in your
Live action,
live action Disney's?
not good.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin your opinion of it, but
Yeah.
I just wasn't that impressed.
The Phoenix was good, but it wasn't Mushu.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Need Mushu. Eddie Murphy.
So out of our 23 movies, this is 8th.
Eh.
Yep.
I think that's fair. Like that's,
Sitting at 8.
We've had a lot of shitty movies.
yeah, but
Did you guys see The Express was on NFL Network this weekend?
Was it really?
It's like they listened to our podcast. They're like, oh, people like this movie.
You know Kay Adams listens.
Yeah. I
She's
haven't
all
seen that
into the
on
mullet
a
voice,
TV channel in forever. And they're like, oh, Saturday night movie on NFL Network, The Express.
Wasn't it?
do we
Disney
want to?
versus-
Do you guys want to go? Speaking of Disney, do you guys want to go through some of what Disney has coming in 2021?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I-
I
list of some
saw
Disney
this,
movie?
the Star Wars and Marvel drop.
I have my movie. Should I
All
get
right.
shoot up my movie quick?
If you guys have stuff, drop it right now.
All right, so my movie going into next week.
Wait. Let's do a commercial break really quick. We're going to need a
Oh.
commercial break because this is going to go almost an hour. 37 minutes, commercial break.
It's fitting for this movie.
Really is.
I got to timestamp that.
Waterboy.
That's what we're watching.
Who's in that one?
Adam Sandler classic.
All right, go.
You've never seen The Waterboy?
Adam Sandler, 1998.
Come on, man.
Of
I was
course, I've seen The Water
Sticking
Boy.
on to the sports theme.
It's-
Scott totally jumped out with the Irishman.
Isn't that the
but
one where like he's really dumb, but his parents have a lot of money? He's got to go back to school.
You're mixing up
No,
a
it's
couple
the
there.
one where he golfs.
Oh, he's a golfer. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like super good. He played hockey, but he can hit the ball really far.
And I think he's the
Nope.
son of the devil or something.
Oh, come on.
Wait, what are we talking
Oh
about?
no, okay, I
totally
sorry,
got lost here.
wrong one. It's the one where he's got his group of friends and they all go to their lake home cabin for after their coach.
And he
dies.
has his buddy's kid shows up, and he pretends to be his dad.
No, it's the one with the
right.
indestructible thermos. No.
Like, that's
Hubie
close
Halloween?
to that one.
The Waterboy
Hubie Halloween?
is an awesome movie from 1998, like Brandon said, of a football player who
Well, a water boy for a college football team discovers he has a unique tackling ability and becomes a member of the team.
Wait, what is this the movie for this week?
Waterboy.
Yeah,
That's
he just threw it in while we were on break.
So we've all seen it.
Yeah, but the Mud Dogs are going to a bowl game.
Listen,
And I
dude,
want- hey.
I'm not saying we can't watch it. I'm going to watch it again.
It has to be something we haven't seen.
No,
No,
this
absolutely
is
not.
Completely fine.
I
Yeah.
want to set a bar, get some of these movies out there and get a number out of
Dude,
them.
You
I'm-
guys all know how I feel about Sandler, though, so I don't know what kind of bar you're
So
setting.
Waterboy's on Netflix.
You-
like,
It is on Hulu.
Yeah, I was gonna say you like dumb Sandler.
Or, okay, I'll
no,
let you
I
guys...
like lovable
No,
Sandler.
go with Waterboy. I
No.
like it.
No,
Last minute
you
audible.
like
Gage is audibling yet
Like
again.
smart-
Oh,
Audible.
It
What
could be
the-
this or it could be the first Disney movie.
we just talked about what the water boy was. We
Safety?
discovered he was a golfer.
Disney movie.
What's
we
the
could do
first,
a Disney
What's
movie.
the first Disney movie? Oh, it could be
Tarzan?
the first Disney movie.
All right, are you
I could do one I think you guys have never seen.
are you gonna flip a coin?
You guys decide.
no, this is your pick.
Well, I want
I'm
the
not-
first Disney movie.
I'm not picking for your week.
Disney movie
It's
or
your choice,
Waterboy?
man.
Wait, let's spin the wheel of topics.
All right, there
Oh
we go.
God, let's just flip a phone.
I can flip my phone.
Flip your phone. We have two
All right.
choices. Not on the ground. I don't have pad on this floor.
This would be Disney. This would be
Showing the top of his
Waterboy.
phone and the
Wheel
bottom.
of
Waterboy.
topics. Grrrr.
Waterboy.
Comments.
Water's good.
Let's see what the
It's
wheel
really,
hits.
really good.
Gatorade.
Water
So Disney
sucks. Really, really sucks.
or Waterboy.
We are.
They're the devil.
We're gonna spin this.
One
bitch.
wheel,
Gage,
one
do the
spin.
honors.
I thought we already picked Waterboy. We flip phones.
No,
He's
no.
audible in like 12 times. Because he obviously wants to pick Disney.
Disney it is.
Disney
Oh!
it is. Disney is the movie.
You
and
have
Gage now
no
gets to
spine.
pick what Disney movie he wants.
I would not want to be with you in a
The
mob
greatest
movie.
game ever played. That is going to be the movie.
And that's
Shia
on D+.
LaBeouf, Disney Plus.
Shia LaBeouf in hot waters right now.
What game?
Golf.
It's a golf game. It's an older Disney movie, but I think it holds up.
It's
The
young
greatest
Shia.
game ever played.
I'm
It's
not
like
gonna go with
Holes
the
Shia.
classic. I'm gonna go with one I don't think
All right.
any of you have seen.
I've
and
never
it sticks
seen it.
with the sports theme.
I've
What?
never seen it.
What is it on? Disney Plus?
Disney
obviously?
Plus. Yep.
Okay. Our poor members don't have that.
I do.
There you go.
Sounds
Scott
like
will
you
share.
do too now.
I do have it.
Oh, see, you can't have a kid and not have Disney Plus, right?
It's very
Well, what's
possible.
our excuse then?
They released that
I'm
Clemson
still a kid
movie
at heart.
over the weekend on
Clemson?
Disney Plus. It's called Safety.
Oh, I've seen the title up there. Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah, he's a safety for the Clemson football team that brings his like little brother.
Did they have to change
With
their
him.
name too?
Clemson?
Yeah. Are they
No.
now the Clemson football team?
The Clemson Tiger football team.
What's offensive about tigers?
Rawr.
Go Tigers.
All right, the greatest game ever played, starring the
Shia
mental
LaBeouf.
terrorist Shia LaBeouf.
What hot water is he in right now?
Yeah, what is the hot water?
He's just having ex-girlfriends coming out of the woodwork saying he's mentally abusive.
I don't doubt it at
Oh,
all.
I could see that.
He's a method actor.
He's a wildcat.
Even Stevens. You
He's
guys-
admitted to all of it.
2005.
He's
just
came out
accepted
and
it?
he's like, yeah, I'm a terrible person.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, this is a banger.
You've seen it before?
No.
Oh,
I think I saw it when it came out, but I do not remember it.
In the 1913 U.S. Open, 20-year-old Francis Omut, that's probably wrong, played golf against his
Omut.
idol, 1900 U.S. Open champion, Englishman, Harry Vardon.
so
Okay, so
he lives his life as the poor boy. He's the caddy for the golf course, and then he plays for free because he caddies.
Oh.
So then his course hosts the Masters, I think it is, or what?
US
champion?
Open?
U.S. Open
US
champion.
Open?
Yeah, U.S. Open.
And finds a way.
he wins it.
You'll just have to watch and find out.
It is a
He wins it.
Disney
It's a
movie.
Disney movie. He wins it. All right. So I already know the ending. I know how the movie goes. I don't have to watch it. All right. What's
Your review score on it? No.
what's your Disney movie? Your Disney movies? Does anybody have what's coming to Disney in 2021? Before I get to the list
Not necessarily just 2021, but I did see their
and beyond.
yeah their
I don't know, it's
Star
gonna be
Wars
fucking
and
epic 'cause
Marvel
they have
drop.
Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah.
Okay, so here's kind of the
Oh,
list. and
Marvel, yeah.
We'll comment on it as I go. I'll kind of just drop the names. You guys comment on it. WandaVision.
Skip.
Really
Ah.
excited.
First Marvel Studio show coming out on Disney. Got a new trailer ahead of its upcoming January 15th release date. So
It looks
super
That's-
soon.
that's
Real
what
interesting to me.
WandaVision is coming out.
A TV
Yeah.
show?
And they're having a lot of Marvel TV shows with their movie actors.
Oh, who's the character?
So that's Wanda and Vision.
Get it?
So the Scarlet Witch and Vision. But this
okay.
one is not like a regular
TV
show. It looks like they mimic like
The cinematic
sitcoms.
effect.
I'm pretty sure the whole thing takes place inside her head. Like I don't think this is really happening.
That's kind of going to be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think because
She's Vision.
We'll see what
Vision-
happens.
But that's what they say,
Vision died.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a total skip for me, but
that's fine.
Is
I
it
heard it sets up.
quick. I hope.
No, it sets up Doctor Strange, the next movie.
Oh, okay.
They do a really good job with that in all the Marvel movies.
It's just that's a fucking skip, and it's gonna be trash.
Are they gonna release it like they do with The Mandalorian?
episode.
One
One
episode
episode
a
a
week,
week?
I'm
That's
sure.
So dumb.
Dirty dogs.
It makes sense. We just got used to this Netflix being able to binge shit.
Yeah.
But to
Dumps.
have a show have lasting power, like say Game of Thrones, people talked about that for 8 to 10 weeks
And
when
Game
that was
of
on.
Thrones,
For
I
years.
still contend to this day would not be the same show if they went Netflix style, because you build up your hardcore fan base because people have to sit and talk about it for a year before the next season comes out.
And then once a week.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, did you watch it last night? Yeah, I finished every episode.
Yeah.
There's it's the water cooler thing. They want people to talk about it for
the same
2 months
yeah.
rather than, oh, it came out, people watch it over 2 weeks, and then people forget about it.
I do think some shows, though, you could get away with a full drop. Like if it's a
totally different shows, sitcoms.
well, like if it's like a documentary, I feel like you could drop all 7 episodes today, and people can watch it as they want. Like Tiger King, for instance, that show was massive because it all dropped right as quarantine hit,
and it was massive for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once again on Halloween.
But is that the type of show, though? Yeah, because everybody
That's
dressed
true.
up as the characters. Do you think that's the type of show, though, where if they would have dropped it episode by episode, week, like for a 9-week stretch or whatever, it would have had the same staying power? I don't know.
If it was on like HBO, maybe.
Yeah.
It would have better staying power, technically.
Then if I just
They
feel
only
like
stuck around for 2 weeks. And
for
there it was
that
gone.
like 2-week period, though, it took the world. It was more than 2 weeks. It was like a month.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For that
and
month
it
period,
was hardcore. People loved it.
Yeah, it might have even like
I was a fan.
yeah. I thought the first 2 or 3 episodes were awesome, and then after that, it just kind of I got bored of it.
Did you
quite
finish
honestly.
it?
Yeah, I finished it, but I didn't really
He
like
finished
it.
a couple times.
Yeah, a few times. Next up, The
Sexy.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier also finally got a full trailer along with a March release date.
And I didn't watch that trailer. That was like the only one I didn't watch.
And
But
you're a big time American and
Soldier.
Captain America guy.
Yeah, I'm watching all of these.
Yep.
That one's gonna be good. I'm wondering what it's gonna build on. If it's gonna be like in the past, or if it's gonna take place right after the Falcon became Captain America.
Are they gonna? Is this gonna be dropped straight to Disney Plus then?
Yeah, that's another series.
Okay. Oh, so it's a TV show
That's a series.
off
Yeah.
of the Captain America universe.
Winter Soldier and Falcon, who is now Captain America.
I wouldn't be surprised if they started out earlier.
If they like went back,
Yeah.
told a story we just haven't heard that involved them.
Yeah, I'd be kind of I'm interested for that, especially with it coming out in March. Next up, a first look at Loki, Disney's highly anticipated short series based on Tom Hiddleston's God of Mischief character. The show also got a May of 2021 release date. As everybody knows, Loki's from Thor. He's the mischief, God of Mischief, whatever he is.
He was the original bad guy, I believe. Was it in
It's
the first
Thor's
Avengers?
brother.
Thor's brother, yeah.
Yeah,
First
bad guy in
Avengers
First
movie,
Avengers.
yeah.
He died, sadly, but I did watch the trailer for this one, and it looks really cool. In Avengers Endgame, when they're doing their time travel thing, he picks that cube up and disappears. And this kind of is the story of what happens when he disappears. He goes to some time bureau thing. Looks like he time travels. Pretty sure he's D.B. Cooper in one of the episodes because he's on a plane with his hair slicked back, and he jumps out, and Heimdall claims him with the little Thor
Dude,
road thing. And
this could be a good show, especially with it being a short series.
I think I'm going to be into that one. I'm going to give that one a watch. You said
We'll see.
May?
May of 2021.
It's got
yep.
time travel. What's not to like?
Hawkeye's premiering
That's
on
fair.
Disney Plus in late fall of 2021, so there's a good chance that'll get pushed later.
the four series in 1 year seems like a lot to me.
Is that a movie or a TV show? You're saying?
That's another TV show.
they're all TV
of those
shows.
are TV
Yeah.
shows.
Yep.
Woo. Yeah, that
Marvel
is a lot.
Studios chief Kevin Feige also gave some casting updates on the already announced Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel. Notably, Tatiana Maslany will play the lead role in She-Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner Ruffalo also set to appear. While Miss
throwback,
Marvel
isn't it?
star Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan will appear in Captain Marvel 2. God, Disney's just going to be pumping out content. Marvel Studios is working on a new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special for Disney Plus. That could be awesome.
Ooh.
Is that a movie?
That's going to be
That's going to be like a short film
Okay.
that will
directly to Disney Plus.
be due out in 2 years from now,
Like
2022.
Oh, damn.
So that's a ways away.
So it's not Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And
I
James
was
Gunn
wondering
will
the same
direct
thing.
it. James Gunn will be the director of it. So it's just going to be a one-off holiday edition Guardians. The special film will release alongside upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, also directed by Gunn and set for release in 2023. There's also I Am Groot, a series of short films starring Groot. For movies now, the third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is officially in development. No due date on it. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And then finally, Marvel Studios is developing a brand new Fantastic Four movie.
So they got a lot of shit coming out.
Yep. And obviously they're completely spinning off the Star Wars world. They're going to add in a bunch of little mini-series, a bunch of new TV shows in the Star Wars world. Star Wars is going to get... I feel like it's going to become oversaturated and become hated.
It already
like
did for a while.
Yeah.
But they have that Ahsoka or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Who was recently in an episode of The Mandalorian. If you watch the cartoon, you'd be familiar with her. I don't really know who she is. And then some Rebel show that's another spin-off of a character in The Mandalorian. But the one I was excited for is a Rogue Squadron movie.
Yep.
They're making a fighter jet Star Wars movie just about the fighter jets.
That could be awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be good.
Because I remember playing those games back in the day. Those ones were fun.
And it's actually going to be directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman 1984.
And Wonder Woman.
Chubb touchdown.
Yes.
We'll cover this on the sports edition.
Oh, baby.
What else is there? That's pretty much it from Disney. Disney's coming out with a lot. The new Buzz Lightyear film, chronicling
Buzz's
Journey.
Yeah.
Real
Buzz is getting his own movie?
Real Buzz.
Live action?
No.
Oh.
It's cartoon, but it's not the toy Buzz. It's about the person that the toy
actually
is based off of.
Fought Zoe or
Yeah.
So it's
Zorg.
a movie.
Emperor Z.
So it's going to be a movie.
Zorg.
Actually.
Zorg.
Emperor
Zorg.
Zorg. I just watched
Emperor
Toy Story
Zorg.
2, so I should know this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Disney's got a lot of stuff
refreshing.
coming to the table. Yeah, that kind of I think concludes the podcast. Remember, everybody, watch
The greatest game ever played.
the greatest
With
game ever
Shia
played
LaBeouf.
for next week's episode. Shoot us your review score. We'll give review scores or synopsis of what you think of the movies in our episodes. Other than that, that's all I got.
Go jerk off.
Bye. Check out our website.